What's up, guys? Welcome to my channel. This is my 1995 Mitsubishi Eclipse RS, the 2-liter inline 4 with 140 horsepower. Man, this thing's fast. Not really, I'm just kidding, but here's a real quick clip. Yeah, anyway, so this car I got for $800. It didn't look like this when I bought it. And you're like, it didn't? I'm like, I know it looks bad, but I'm working on it. I'm going to tell you a quick story about this car and how I got it. I was car hunting since February of 2023, and I really wanted a good Mitsubishi Eclipse because that's always been my dream car ever since I was a child. Ever since I've seen Fast and the Furious, played Need for Speed Underground, it was always my go-to car because I just loved the way it looked, the style, the way it sounded, just like something that really drawed my attention. This car was listed on Marketplace around the month of June in 2023. And like I said, I've been looking for this car since February. So when I saw the listing for $800, I was like, huh, seems like a pretty good deal to me. The guy said, we have a guy coming on the way right now. If you can come out tomorrow, as quick as you can, this car can be yours. And I was like, okay, bet. Here's the listing clips of the car when I saw the listing, and here it's now. So if you guys can see, it's changed quite a little bit since I bought it. This car was originally turboed. Now, these 428 engines don't come turbo. They're naturally aspirated engines. But this one had a turbo. This guy who modded it before the guy who sold it to me ended up turbocharging this car. He had a gauge cluster, boost gauges, all that kind of stuff for a turbo. And I'm pretty sure this thing sounded and ripped really freaking cool. So I'm stuck with it now as a non-turbo, back to stock somewhat. When the guy sold it to the guy who sold it to me, he ripped the turbo off of it, the gauge clusters, everything that made the car super, super cool. He ripped it off and probably sold it for more than he sold the car for, in all honesty. When I bought it, it was running. It was firing on 3 cylinders instead of 4, so I replaced the coil pack, the spark plugs, all that kind of good stuff, and ended up getting this car running pretty decent. Movie of Fast and Furious, Brian's Eclipse. That's what I'm going for, if you guys couldn't tell already from what I'm saying and how the car is already kind of looking. Not a full 100% accurate replica. That's going to take too much money and too much time. But I am getting the accurate rims, the body kit. I have the body kit. I just haven't put it on. I'm getting pretty much everything down to the T in accuracy. I'm going to take my time with it. It's going to take some time and money. This is what the whole car looked like when I bought it. As you can see, it was pretty rough around the edge. It still kind of is. It's getting there, though. This was last year. And so I was looking at the wiring, and I was like, this car is a headache. And by the time, I was a car guy, but I didn't have as much knowledge as I do now about cars. I've actually learned quite a lot in a year. I've always been a car guy, but I've just never really been big into, let me buy my own car, let me drive it and fix it up and all that stuff. This is still pretty new to me. I stopped working on this car for a couple months. I want to say November time. My brother came back from the Marines, and he really just was like, dude, we need this car to work. And I'm like, yeah, you know what, you're right. And he started showing me how easy it would be just to fix this up. And he said, don't give up on it. And honestly, that was something that I was telling myself, like, why should I give up on this car? It needs to have a second life. I want this car to live again, you know. And as it is, it starts right up, and I'll show you guys that in a few minutes. This car needed a second life, and is getting the second life that it needs. And started working on it now. It has a Megan Racing exhaust on it. Cleaned up the taillights. They had paint on them for some reason. But anyway, to the parts car. Recently, right after I had actually bought this car, I bought another car, a 98 Mitsubishi Eclipse GS. So same engine, just different trim. This is the car now. I've ripped it to pieces using the parts from that to this. So I'm reviving this car and scrapping this car outside. I have just put power steering in this car. Did not have power steering. Did not have a proper radiator system, cooling system. Did not have an AC compressor. Still doesn't. I'm not going to put that in. Had pretty bad headers on it. This is just a picture of the engine bay and how it looks now. So subtle upgrade, but yeah, put power steering pump from that car to this car. Motor mounts, bought them brand new for this car. I still needed the front and rears because the engine kind of shakes weird. Tire clip of me test driving it. Car cleaned up and looking pretty fly. I still need to paint the engine bay. Obviously need to sand this car down to almost bare metal and paint it, put the body kit on, get the spoiler for it. The rims I found, but they're pretty pricey, but I'm going to pay it because I'm an idiot. Gotta fix the windshield. The windshield has cracks all over the place, so that's not legal. Other than that, this car is not too bad. Here's a quick little walk around I'm going to show you guys of what it looks now. We got that blue stain tip exhaust, a classic 2000s era. Car has been rattle canned paint, obviously. I got a bunch of parts in the back. Let me go ahead and open this door for you guys. But yeah, there's that shift knob. That looks really cool. Got the shift boot and everything. The almost accurate Sparko wheel. It's not 100%. Then a bunch of parts that I'm going to put on this car, like rotors, brake pads, and then I got to paint the trim parts. And then I'm using automatic doors because the GS outside has automatic doors. But for right now, I got Chevy C10 crank windows for the windows, so I can actually roll them down. I am swapping them to a automatic system just for convenience and the luxury of it. And then there is one of my favorite looking engines. I know it's slow and boring, but to me, it looks cool. The valve cover came out amazing. Just looks phenomenal. I used header paint, which I'm going to paint the headers this color too. And on the rest of it, for wiring, as wiring goes, this is the wiring mess that I was kind of talking about. There's just things like random plugins that just go to nowhere, you know, and just, you know, certain things that are just like, okay, why is there no plugin for this? Why does this just go to nowhere? This little hose was hooked up to this, which was, I think this guy hooked this hose up to right here. So I think he was using it as back pressure. Here's the whole car. It does have new headlights. These are the 1997 ones, accurate to the movie. He cut, as you guys can see from this car, if I can show you, he had notched out a little part on the stock bumper for that intercooler. Remember, this car was a turbo, so I'm assuming the turbo was right here because look at this picture. This was the hood on the car. When I got it, there was just a giant hole cut in the hood. I'm guessing so we could have the turbo sticking out. I really don't know. I'd love to see pictures of this car when it was turboed because, man, oh man, does this car have a history that I want to know more about. Wow, I'm really tall, so this is kind of difficult. Yeah, but if you guys enjoy this video, make sure to like and subscribe. This is my first video on the channel, so hope you guys enjoy and hope you guys stay around to see the progress of this thing turning into the classic green Eclipse from Fast and the Furious. It would be cool to have the Fast and the Furious car just to see people's heads turn. So if you guys like this video, make sure to like and subscribe and keep following for the next part. See you guys. Peace.